Greetings, fellow freethinkers. The event you're about to watch was hosted by the Centre for Inquiry Ontario, an educational and outreach organization dedicated to promoting and defending science, reason, and free inquiry in every area of human endeavor. My name is Justin Trazier, and as Executive Director of CFI Ontario, I would like to take a minute to tell you about us. Our centre, located in the heart of downtown Toronto, is the first Canadian branch of CFI and is our nation's first dedicated meeting and event space for humanists and freethinkers. Our mandate encompasses a robust public education presentation series throughout Ontario, campus outreach as we support a growing network of student freethought groups, community outreach and social services to provide humanistic alternatives to religiously monopolized services and activities, and a lending library and media centre that, among other things, broadcasts videos like this across the planet. To learn more, please visit us at cfiontario.org. To get on our email list or to learn how you can support our movement or get a freethought group started at your campus, simply contact us today at info@cfiontario.org. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Oh, it's kind of louder than usual. Let's go say something like, "Are you ready to rock?" Yes? Yeah? Okay, then you're in the wrong place. That's not a freaking concert. I don't know what you're doing here. I don't know. Saying, "Are you ready to talk philosophy?" doesn't sound as exciting. So, as usual, Justin's not here again, so I'm left doing your intro. So, CFI to you. So what is CFI? CFI is kind of hard to explain, but basically it's captured in the slogan. We promote science, reason, and freedom of inquiry in every endeavor. So if you want to help us do that aspect and have great events like tonight, Dr. David Hitchcock will be talking. You feel free to join the center. It's $60 for most individuals, $20 for students. We feel these are very cheap prices, and you can really contribute to building the center and keeping our programming going. Including in our programming is the upcoming event by this is going to be hard for me to say, Wojtek Swemberg, yes, who's the producer for TVO's The Agenda with Steve Paikin. I don't know how many of you watch the show, but if you do, you might recall recently we had a number of atheist representatives on the importance of faith issue, including them Dr. Buckman, who's a friend of the center, and Professor Ronald D'Souza. So if you want to see him talk, the producer as a person, this is a free event, and he'll be talking about some of the aspects related to the media and our movement and so forth. We also have other events such as Edward Tabash coming up to talk about the constitutional issue in the US and regarding the separation of church and state and so forth. Many other great events, but I'm sure you can check them out on the website and poster and so forth. Once again, you're not here to see me talk, you're here to see Dr. David Hitchcock talk, at least I think so. And so I'll start by introducing him. So Dr. David Hitchcock has been a professor of philosophy at McMaster since, I believe, 1968. I tried to remember what I was doing in 1968, and for some obscure reason I couldn't remember what I was doing at that time. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's probably it. Where was I? I apparently seem to have forgotten my notes. But Dr. David Hitchcock has written numerous books on critical thinking, including textbook relating to critical thinking in medicine. And so hopefully he'll spread some of his critical thinking with us tonight. And he's also, I believe, the president of the International Association for Informal Logic, I believe, and Critical Thinking. Is that it? Am I getting it right? Founding president. There you go, even better. So once again, we have all the speakers with resumes too long to memorize, but I suppose that's a good thing rather than having Bob off the street. So rather than me blabbing on, please welcome Dr. David Hitchcock.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Schreiber. I can't promise to be quite as good with the one-liners as Schreiber is. He assures me that you want me over here? Or you can move this over, actually. I like to be seen as well as heard rather than hide behind the lectern, if that's okay. Oh, I see you're filming, so you can't film through the poster. Schreiber assured me that he's of German ancestry, and I replied to him that I am of Igbo ancestry from Nigeria. He challenged me to question his ancestry claim, and I challenge him to question mine in return. You ought to have a stapled copy of these quotations that I pulled from here and there. And what I propose to do is to walk through these quotations with you. And I'd like to stop after each sort of segment and invite you to, at that point, ask questions of clarification or make comments, not to have it be drone on for 50 minutes without interruption. And if I don't get to the end of the 4 pages, nothing much is lost, I have to tell you. So the title of the paper, which required a long series of email exchanges between myself and Justin Trottier before it met the standards, is Early Skeptics, Atheism, Agnosticism, and Religious Dissent in Ancient Western Civilization. I wanted ancient Greece and Rome, but he thought that sounded too highfalutin. But in fact, that's what I'm going to talk about. So I'm not talking about the ancient Near East. I'm not talking about ancient Northern Africa. I'm not talking about ancient civilizations, in Northern and Central and Eastern and Western Europe, north of, that word part of the Greek-speaking world and later the Roman Empire. I'm talking about the civilization that existed among the Greek-speaking peoples scattered around the Mediterranean and the Black Sea in the 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, and so on centuries before the Common Era, and subsequent civilization in the Roman Empire. And I'm going to look at it insofar abstracting from any influences on that civilization that came out of the Judeo-Christian tradition. So this is pagan ancient Western civilization. In our civilization today, in our culture, the dominant religious conception that comes from Judeo-Christian heritage and theological reflection on their sacred texts and practices, and is also shared by Islam, is of a single God who is a supernatural being that exists beyond the realm of what we can contact and observe with our senses, what we can see and hear and touch and taste and so on, and who is supposed to have created the whole universe that we can observe and that is studied scientifically ex nihilo, out of nothing. Now this conception is absolutely foreign to the tradition that I am going to be talking about. So you have to try to bracket it and not to read too much of that conception into this tradition. The popular religion of the Greek-speaking peoples from 700 BCE, 600, 500, and so on,